Hi, Ebenezer second graders. Today I'm coming to you to share some information about a project that we are going to be working on for the next 2 weeks in our science and writers workshop studies. Um, Normally, if we were in school during the month of May, our second graders participate in research to gather information, do research, and present information that they've learned in the form of a writing for animal studies. So, because last week you had time in the past 2 weeks to study the different classes of animals, you are going to pick one specific animal in the next 2 weeks and go a little bit deeper in your work. You're going to be doing research. You're going to practice some of the skills we've practiced in Writers Workshop and in science earlier in the year to put together information to show your learning. So we are going to be doing animal research and informational writing together in one big project over the next 2 weeks. Because this process takes 2 weeks, we want you to take your time and enjoy it. We want it to be as creative and as interesting to you as possible, but we also want you to go deeper in your thinking and your work to get you prepared for research that you'll be doing in third grade learning. So we have done several types of writing informational text together as groups in class. We've had opportunities to practice it in a group, and now you're going to have an opportunity to practice it independently. We want you to use the resources that you have at home, and we want you to use your interest to drive this lesson and to help you work on this work. And so we're going to today take some time just to introduce and get a game plan of what it would look like at school and how you can adjust it to do this work at home. So first of all, in informational writing, we've used informational text to read about numerous animals. We have used it in brochures, in posters, in books, and you've gotten to practice with lots of the informational text features. We are going to use this time this week to do research and plan for creating a book or another way of sharing your information. So one of the ways you can do your work this week is planning to prepare to create a book to write about your animal. You are going to pick one animal that you want to dive deep into more information from our class studies last week of reptiles, amphibians, mammals. You're going to pick one specific animal, and you're going to gather information and research this week that you might want to present as in the form of a book. So if you were creating a book at home, you could use paper that you have in your house. It could be notebook paper or just plain white copy paper. And you could take 2 or 3 pages, 3 or 4 pieces, hold it horizontally, and fold it to create a book that you could create a cover, a table of contents. You could show various pieces of your informational text through glossaries, bold words, pictures with labels, diagrams. Any type of research that you want to include in your book can be used to show those features of informational text. So you could create this at home to show your information. You could also create a brochure. If you remember, we made brochures just before we left about the regions of the United States. And you could use a piece of paper again, holding it horizontally and creating a trifold brochure where you would just make 2 folds. You would make one and then another fold, and that would create for you a trifold brochure that you could again give it a cover to create interest. And then you could open it and divide your sections of your brochure with headings to tell the information you're going to share about your animal in a brochure. And then one last option of a way you could present your information or share your writing for your research is through a poster. When we did our study on weather, you worked in groups to create different types of weather posters to share your learning there. So your poster could have parts or divisions of separate information to share the information you're learning through your research as well. So we want you to be creative. We want you to enjoy this project, and we want you to take this 2 weeks to take your time and really put all of your second grade skills together to create a piece that you're very proud of to share for your final informational writing. And you notice we say 2 weeks because we don't want it to be rushed. We want you to enjoy the process of doing research and gathering information and then putting the information together in one of these forms. You're going to choose just one animal. You're going to choose just one way to present the information, and you're going to have a whole 2 weeks. The first week is going to be basically gathering information. We're going to organize and practice taking notes. We're going to make bulleted lists. We're going to gather from different resources, and then we will put it together in the form of our brochure, book, or poster the second week and focus on the writing there. So this week, as we're gathering information, I have shared with you on your lesson plan template, the lessons that come out day by day. On Monday, you will see that you have a link that takes you to a Discus site for Britannica Animal Kingdom. And that Animal Kingdom website has much information about all kinds of different animals. So on the first day today, you might simply want to just click on that link and look at all the different animals that you could do research on. Look at the pictures and look at your interest and your favorite class of animal to decide which one you want to do your research on. Now, for those of you who have been reading in EPIC, you know that there are quite a few books in EPIC that also talk about these animals, and there are books that are specific to each type of animal. There's a book on elephants and a book on bats, and my animal that I'm going to choose that you can't do the same one I'm doing, I'm going to do the ostrich. I've always found the ostrich very interesting. So I'm going to come back with you on Wednesday to begin. Once I've gathered my thoughts about, I think I'm going to create a brochure, but that's my pick. You can pick whichever one you would like to do. And I'm going to use this website to do some gathering of information. We are going to create and do research around 3 main topics. You will be doing the habitat, you will be doing basic needs, and you will be researching about other interesting facts about that animal. So on Wednesday, when we come back together again, I'm going to use the ostrich. I'm going to go to this Britannica Animal Kingdom site, and I'm going to gather some information and think about how I would organize my note-taking. When I begin my research, I will not copy down sentence by sentence from a book or a piece of reference site, but I will be reading it and practicing taking notes. So when you come back with me on Wednesday, we're going to practice taking notes about the ostrich. But during the time between now and Wednesday, if you start gathering your thoughts, gathering your ideas, and take some time to research in this site, you'll find some great resources to use to begin your planning for this great project. Look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.